We will now avoid the 3 pitfalls: set unrealistic goals, underestimate completion time, and set fluffy goals. Thousands of studies have shown that taking the time to get specific is one of the most critical steps to take in reaching any goal. However, it is often overlooked. Being very specific clarifies the course of action. You know if you have reached your goal when it's very specific. And it works, because if you haven't reached your goal, you have little choice but to hang in there and keep trying if you want to succeed. I'm sure that you know about it. For example, you have heard about SMART. The question is just, do you always take the time in your everyday business life and do it? Get specific and thereby provide huge clarity to you and others? So in this, we will begin here, because for goals to be powerful, they need to be SMART. As you probably know, there are many variations of what SMART stands for. In this context, I have chosen that your goals should be specific, measurable, ambitious, realistic, and time-bound. I will now run you through each perspective. Throughout this quick little reminder, be sure to remember to look at all parts of your vision with connected goals. Specific. Your goals must be both clear and well-defined, because vague or generalized goals are unhelpful since they don't provide enough direction. Remember, you need goals to show you the way. So make it as easy as you can to get where you want to go by defining precisely where you want to end up. So spell out what you want to achieve in detail. What does success look like? How do you know when you have succeeded? Hit pause to work. Measurable. This includes precise amounts, dates, and so on in your goals, so you can measure your degree of success. If your goal is simply defined as ask more questions, how will you know when you have been successful? You might phrase it, in every one-to-one I will ask 3 questions, or you can write, 5 people have said that I ask more questions, or 5 people have said I provide a better room for their thinking and development. Don't let it stop you right now that you don't know if people will say something like this. Also, even though you might not measure something like this later, it will help you to phrase it like this. How can you improve your brainstorm with adding amounts, dates, or numbers, for example from Live SS, to measure your success? Hit pause to work. Ambitious. Your goals need to be ambitious because that will make you accomplish much more. Think of an ambitious leader you know and let him or her inspire you. If you strive for the sun, you might only reach the moon, but then again, the moon is pretty far away, right? So think also about what you can accomplish if you get people around you to help you on your way. You are not alone in this world, and getting help with parts of your dreams and desires will take you much further. How can you adjust your goals to be ambitious? Hit pause. Realistic. Sometimes some of us don't like to be too ambitious. We don't want to feel that we fail and have let ourselves down. So at the same time as being ambitious, the goals must also be realistic, so you don't lose your motivation along the way. Also, if the goals are too ambitious, you will probably feel disappointed at some point when you don't succeed. That can easily have a rub-off effect on your development path as a whole, so be careful not to aim too high. You must find the sweet spot where you can imagine that you can succeed if you work hard and maybe get help. How can you adjust your goals to be realistic? Time-bound. Time is about setting a deadline, but time is also a very abstract concept. Will it take 9 months, 12, or maybe 15 months to implement a change? Make a best guess now and make it around a year, or maybe a shorter time if your work frame is very blurry. After you have finished setting goals, your next step in the next video is defining the activities that will take you to the goals. You can then go back again to think about what deadline is realistic if it's difficult now. So don't worry right now if it's difficult. How can you make your goals time-bound? This was the SMART model. Before I move on, be sure to check that all parts of your goals are adjusted with this perspective. This was the SMART model. Before I move on, be sure to check that all parts of your goals are adjusted with this perspective.